I welcome you all once again in today's lecture. So children, yesterday I was discussing about the various political institutions in which I discussed about the legislative, executive and the judiciary. I also mentioned the role played by the three organs of the government, that is the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. Now children, today I am going to discuss about the parliament. Children, when I was telling you about the office memorandum in which I was discussing about the Mandal Commission, in that I told you that the president was the last authority whose signature was there in order to make the law for the country. The prime minister, he played a major role in making law for this country. So here we can see that the decision which was taken, it was not directly taken in the parliament, but children, parliamentary discussions on the report influenced and shaped the decision of the government over here. How? They brought the pressure on the government to act on the Mandal recommendations, and if the parliament was not in favor of this decision, the government could not have gone ahead of it. So you can guess why, what was the reason behind it. Now you can recall what you read about the parliament in the earlier class and try to imagine what the parliament could have done if it did not approve the cabinet's decision. So here we are going to discuss why do we need a parliament and what is the role of parliament in making the law for the country. Now children, the parliament, first of all, it exercises all the political authority on behalf of the people. On behalf of the people, why? Because the representative which are elected by the people of their constituencies, they represent you there in the parliament. So parliament, we have seen that it's the final authority for making the laws for the country. Is it clear? Number one, why do we need a parliament? Number one, that it is the final authority for making law in the country, and side by side it can also change the existing laws, or it can also abolish the existing laws and make new laws in its place. So there are many examples. Currently you must go through it in the newspaper, and you can find out also that many laws have been abolished by the government of a country. Many laws have been changed, the amendments have been made. Okay. Secondly, it exercises control over those who run the government. Is it clear? How? Those who run the government means the ruling party, the majority party. It keeps a check on the decision which they take, and without the support of the parliament, the law cannot be made. Thirdly, the parliament also control the money matters also, all the budgets and the things which are related to the finance of the country. These are discussed in the parliament itself. And one thing I would like to make you clear over here, it's only discussed in the Lok Sabha, not in the Raj Sabha. Fourthly, this is the highest forum of discussion, and all the debates on the political issues and the national policies are taken over here itself in the country. Now we are going to discuss the parliament and the legislature over here. As we have seen that parliament in all democratic countries, in it is an assembly of elected representative. Okay, the people, those who are elected by the citizens of the country, these are the representatives who have got this political authority on behalf of the people of our country. So in India, such a national assembly is called a parliament over here, and in Hindi we call it as a Sansad. In various countries, like I told you, in Russia it's called as Duma, in France a state general, in Germany they are taken by different names. Okay, so in India it's called as a parliament or Sansad. Secondly, we are going to tell you about the legislature. Legislature, it is the body of the elected representative at that state level, country level, and it's called the legislature also, and the legislative assembly over here. So in every state we have a legislative assembly also. You can see there in your state also, in Haryana we are having a state legislature also, which is in a Chandigarh. Now I am going to tell you about the two houses of parliament. Now children, as we know that parliament, it plays a very important role in modern democracies, and large countries, what they have done, they have divided the powers of the parliament into two parts, and these two parts are called as the chambers or the houses. One house, you have seen that it is usually directly elected by the people. Okay, one house, it's directly elected by the people, and it has got the real power in its hand. Is it clear? All the special powers are vested in this house. And the second house, it's elected indirectly, and it performs some special functions only. Is it clear? The the house which I discussed before, it has got all the real powers, all the political powers are played by this house itself, and special functions are performed by the second house. And they were looking the interest of various states, regions, and federal units also. So our parliament, it has two houses. The lower house is called as the children Lok Sabha, or the house of the people also, and the second is the upper house, the upper chamber, which is called as the Raj Sabha, or the control of the council of the states. Is it clear? So the two houses are the council of state, that is the Raj Sabha, and the house of the people, that is the Lok Sabha. Now in this, the president of India is a part of the parliament, but he is not the member of either house. Once again, I am going to tell you, the president of India is not a member of any of these houses. He is only a part of the parliament. That is why, children, one thing I would like to make you clear, that all the laws which are made in the houses, they come into force only when they are received, when they receive the assent of the president, when they receive the signature of the president. Is it clear? So now I'm going to discuss about the Lok Sabha first. Is it clear? So it children, Lok Sabha, it is directly elected by the people. लोकसभा के आपने देखा इलेक्शन होते हैं, उसमें हम लोग डायरेक्टली यहाँ के लोगों को, पीपल को, जो इलेक्शन में खड़े होते हैं, कंटेस्टेंट्स होते हैं, उन लोग को इलेक्ट करते हैं, और दे आर हैविंग द एक्सेस रियल पावर इन इट्स हैंड. Is it clear? It is directly elected by the people, and they exercise the real power in its hand. So these people, those who are elected by the people of our country, they are called as the MPs, member of parliament. So the maximum strength of the house is 552. Is it clear? 552 is of 530. In this, 530 members are elected from the states, and 20 members from the union territories. Is it clear? Once again, I would like to tell you that out of 552, 530 members are elected from the states, and 20 members are elected from the union territories. 2 members are nominated by the President of India from the Anglo-Indian community. Now children, this I would like to tell you, make you clear it here itself. Now this has been cancelled now. Now there is no seat for the Anglo-Indian community. First it was there, but in this session, in the last previous session, it has been abolished. ये दो एंग्लो इंडियन कम्युनिटी, ये दो ब्रिटिशर्स के लिए होती है, सीट रखी जाती है, तो इसलिए अब की बार लास्ट जो सेशन था उसमें इसको अब सीट को कैंसिल कर दिया गया है. सो द प्रेजेंट मेंबरशिप ऑफ द लोक सभा इज 545 members. So this is the Lok Sabha. Now we'll come to the Raj Sabha और द काउंसिल ऑफ द स्टेट्स. एक चीज़ और बताएं, लोकसभा में आप देखोगे, लोकसभा इट्स ग्रीन कारपेटेड. ग्रीन कारपेटेड क्यों ग्रीन है? बिकॉज यहाँ पे पीपल नीचे ग्रास रूट लेवल से इलेक्ट होके आते हैं. तो ये डिफरेंस आप देखोगे. राज्यसभा जब आप देखोगे, कभी भी आप उसको जब देखोगे इनके चैनल पे, राज्यसभा रेड कलर की दिखाई देती है एंड लोकसभा ग्रीन कलर की दिखाई देती है. क्यों दिखाई देती है? क्योंकि लोकसभा में लोग जो है, जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स होते हैं, एमपीज होते हैं, वो नीचे से इलेक्ट होके आते हैं, तो उनका ग्रीन कलर होता है. राज्यसभा, उसको हाउस ऑफ काउंसिल्स कहते हैं. ये इनडायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड पीपल होते हैं जो कि स्टेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली से इलेक्ट होके आते हैं, इसलिए वो रेड कलर की होती है. ठीक है. सो now about Raj Sabha and the Council of States, it's usually elected indirectly and it performs the special functions, and the most common work for the second house is to look after the interest of the various states. इसका important function क्या है? Various states के interest से concerned, regions के या federal unit से concerned यहाँ पे बातें discuss होती है, and it has more than 250 members over here. Now यहाँ पे जो 12 members होते हैं राज्यसभा के, these are nominated by the president of a country, and these the president elects these people who have earned distinction in the various fields like art, literature, science, social services, culture, from various fields, in literature, addition and all, and from various parts these peoples are nominated by the president of our country. So 12 people, such people, distinctive peoples are elected by the president of our country. अब आप देखोगे आपके राज्यसभा में मेंबर में संजय तेंदुलकर भी है, आपकी जो है बॉलीवुड से भी लोग हैं, आपके स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड से भी लोग हैं वहाँ पे, आपके साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी फील्ड से भी लोग यहाँ के मेंबर्स हैं। तो ये सारे मेंबर्स जो हैं इनको प्रेसिडेंट इलेक्ट करता है। एंड राज्यसभा चिल्ड्रन, वन थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू टेल यू, लोकसभा इज नॉन परमानेंट बॉडी। लोकसभा आफ्टर एवरी 5 years डिसॉल्व हो जाती है और फिर से इलेक्शन होते हैं, लेकिन राज्यसभा इज़ अ परमानेंट बॉडी, इसको कोई डिसॉल्व नहीं कर सकता। दिस इज़ अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन राज्यसभा एंड लोकसभा। इसमें क्या होता है, 1/3 जो इसके मेंबर्स होते हैं दे रिटायर एवरी 2 years, हर 2 साल बाद 1/3 मेंबर इसके रिटायर हो जाते हैं। न्यू मेंबर्स जो है नॉमिनेट किए जाते हैं, सिलेक्ट किए जाते हैं। और एट प्रेजेंट 245 मेंबर्स इन द राज्यसभा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड अमंग द डिफरेंट स्टेट्स एंड यूनियन टेरिटरीज। ओके, 245 मेंबर्स हमारे राज्यसभा में है जो डिफरेंट स्टेट्स एंड यूनियन टेरिटरीज को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। सो दिस इज अबाउट द 2 houses ऑफ पार्लियामेंट एंड the functions of the parliament. Already I told you that ordinary bill जो होता है, जो बिल होता है, ऑर्डिनरी बिल के ऊपर दोनों हाउस के पास इक्वल पावर होती है। वो लोकसभा में ही पास होता है एंड राज्यसभा ही पास होता है। आप देखोगे ऑर्डिनरी बिल आपका जैसे सीए पे आया था, आपका 360 आर्टिकल जो एबॉलिश किया जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में, या किसी से भी है रिजर्वेशन आपने देखा था उसका कोटा, ये दोनों हाउस में पास होना ज़रूरी है। ये ऑर्डिनरी बिल होते हैं, ठीक है। और अगर बाई चांस दोनों में डेडलॉक हो जाए, है ना, तो इसके लिए जॉइंट सिटिंग्स होती है बोथ हाउसेस की। एंड जहाँ पे लोकसभा जो है इसकी न्यूमेरिकल मेजॉरिटी ज़्यादा होती है, क्योंकि इसके 543 मेंबर्स होते हैं तो इसकी ज़्यादातर मेजॉरिटी होती है, और राज्यसभा की इतनी नहीं होती है। तो मोस्टली जो ऑर्डिनरी बिल्स में लोकसभा ही प्रिवेल करता है। ऑन मनी मैटर्स जो है, मैनी मैटर्स नहीं, ऑन कई मैटर्स में लोकसभा के पास ज़्यादा पावर होती है राज्यसभा से। राज्यसभा जो है ये ओनली 14 डेज़ के लिए, लोकसभा से जो बिल पास हो गया वो अगर राज्यसभा जाता है तो वो सिर्फ 14 डेज़ के लिए अपने पास रख सकता है, ठीक है। उसके बाद उसको वापस भेजना ही पड़ता है। अगर उनको किसी बिल में प्रॉब्लम होती है राज्यसभा को, वो सिर्फ चेंजेस करके अपने सजेशन दे के लोकसभा में पेश कर सकता है, लेकिन ये लोकसभा के ऊपर होता है कि लोकसभा उसको एक्सेप्ट करे या ना करे। लोकसभा अगर उसको फिर से वापस राज्यसभा में भेजेगा तो राज्यसभा उसको 14 डेज़ के अंदर उसको भेजना पड़ता है और लोकसभा उसको फिर पास कर देता है। उसके बाद सेकेंडली लोकसभा, देखिए लोकसभा ज़्यादा पावरफुल है राज्यसभा से। क्यों? देखो, पहली बात रिप्रेजेंटेटिव जो है हमारे चुने होते हैं, पीपल ऑफ कंट्री चूजेस द रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ द कंट्री। सेकेंडली इसकी न्यूमेरिकल मेजॉरिटी होती है, ओके, इसकी न्यूमेरिकल मेजॉरिटी होती है। और लोकसभा जो है काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स को भी कंट्रोल करता है, ठीक है, थ्रू नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन ऑल्सो। एंड राज्यसभा के पास ये पावर नहीं होती है। तो दीज आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट फंक्शंस ऑफ द parliament. So you can read till page number 85 over here, and tomorrow I'm going to discuss about the permanent executive and the political executive. So that's all for today. So enjoy your day. Goodbye.